All right, hi everyone. We are Team 5, and this is our game theory presentation. Let's go ahead and get started. So, looking at the sequential game for Comcast versus Verizon, first thing we looked at was it sequential or was it a simultaneous game? In this case, we know it's sequential because each firm knows the decisions that the other one is making. So, Comcast would base its decision based on, Verizon's strategy and vice versa. The next thing we're going to look at is this a one-shot or repeated game? We know this is repeated because it's a continuous cycle of price adjustments based on competition. We assumed Verizon goes first in our game, and Comcast is reacting to their decisions and so on. So looking at the relative payoffs in a one-shot game, the relative payoffs in the sequential game would go to the firm who chooses second, as they're able to select the most profitable strategy for them based on the first firm's decision. You'll see this table, and it represents the values for our payoff in the game. So this is going to be the values that we'll use in the decision tree, which Rob and Matt will talk about now.
These numbers were selected to represent the idea that if one firm keeps its prices high, the other firm will gain market share as they lower their price, both for new and existing customers. The profit gained by lowering prices rises at a slow rate. The profit lost by the business with the higher prices decreases more rapidly.
Okay, so this is our sequential game that we've put up here on this board very nicely. My name is Verizon, and this is my colleague, Comcast. And he'll start off by talking about the decisions that he would make in a sequential game.
Okay, so starting off here in the first, I'll call it node, we would go in the low-low strategy. Our 140 is definitely the highest payout that we can get amongst the ones. Same with the second node, we'll go low-low on that one as well. The 110 is obviously higher than all the other options that we have here. The third one, going to be low-low. Same situation, we have 110 higher than all of our other values. And then the final one, we'll go 80. Just because 80 is higher than the rest of the options there, and we'll go back through and saw off the branches. So I'll go ahead and pass the baton to Verizon over here.
Very nice. So now, as Verizon, I have the following options to choose from as Comcast has sawn off the other branches. So I'm looking at this number here, this number here, this number here, and this number here, and choosing which of those would be the best option for my firm. So I would cut off high, because that's only 30, and then I'd cut off high-low, only 70. I'd cut off low-high, and that leaves me with the low-low option.
All right, so the sequential game that Matt and Rob just discussed, you'll notice that from that decision tree as well as the previous table, that this was a mirrored game. So the low-low strategy would remain dominant regardless of who picked first. So Verizon could pick first or Comcast could pick first. And again, being a sequential game, this process and trend would continue. So now we're going to look at Comcast and Verizon in the favored nation clause game. The favored nation clause basically says that a subscriber is promised that the cable company won't charge existing subscribers more than new subscribers and vice versa. So everyone's guaranteed the same price. So in this situation, we've cut out the high-low strategy and the low-high strategy for both Verizon and Comcast. So you'll see in this table that we just have high-high and low-low for both companies. In this case, the relative payoffs in a one-shot game remain with the second decider. So they, again, get to pick the option that maximizes the profit based on the first decider's decision. Here are our values as we discussed, and Matt and Rob will discuss these and use these values in the decision tree that you'll see next.
Okay, thanks for joining us again. My name is Verizon. I'm joined by my colleague Comcast, and we are going over a sequential game that now has the favored nation clause taken into account. So the favored nation clause, as Nick said, eliminates the opportunity for me, Verizon, and also my colleague Comcast to treat our new customers differently than our existing customers. So now we are left with just high prices or low prices for all customers.
So when we're looking at my first decision is Comcast, we're looking just between 100 now and 140. Obviously, we're going to go charging the low method. And then same for down here on this one, we're also going to do the low method. The 80 is definitely greater than the 30. And we'll zzz and zzz the lines right off. And I'll pass it over to Verizon to make the final decision.
Okay, so just like in our last video, so the two that I'm looking at are when I take the high prices, I'm looking at a total profit of 30 versus a total profit of 80. I'm going to take the total profit of 80 and I'm going to cut off high prices.
Just leave a pause after you go so that we can chop it there. And then
use it in the bloopers.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
The favored nation eliminates treating customers that are new from treating new customers differently. We got to start over. We'll just delete that one. The points home.
Yeah.
I think we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. Okay.
Yeah, you just want to go through. Or
Yep.
do we want to say why we cut out the ones?
Yeah, because I guess we're cutting out